It is 2 days to Christmas. In your shopping cart or nicely wrapped gift, there might be a smart toy, a digitally enhanced toy such as a VR headset or smart kitchen playsets that connect to cloud-based services. But such toys have sparked data and tracking concerns, especially for young users. Parents Together, a non-profit family advocacy organization based in Washington, D.C., released a gift advisory report on such toys for possible privacy issues. Are these toys really a cause for concern?
And here to shed more light is Dr. Chi Hong Chi. He's Senior Principal Research Scientist at NTU Strategic Center for Research in Privacy-Preserving Technologies and Systems. Thank you for coming in, Doctor. Before we get to whether or not there are security concerns, what defines a smart toy?
When you say smart, there are at least two characteristics. Number one is the two-way communication. That means the toy itself can communicate not only to the owner of the toy, but also to the outside world. For example, you ask Alexa, what's the weather today? So the toy will send a signal to the outside world, to the cloud, saying what's the weather in Singapore. So get the result back and then let the user know about this. So this is the first characteristic. Second characteristic is more advanced. The toy wants to understand you, how you feel today. Are you happy? Are you sad? And so on. So this is getting more and more common because this is kind of companion to the people.
Okay, so how does, tell us how does that translate into something you think should be a concern for the parents? And also, what about the issues of things like privacy concerns, security risks like hacking and such?
Yeah, well, at least there are three aspects that we may want to take a look. Number one is since the toy can communicate to the outside world, that means the outside world can also be able to enter your home. Okay, so they hack in and then they take control of your toy and then do things. To me, this is actually not the most important thing. Why? Is because the toy is not that expensive as compared to, for example, a computer. So the capability of that particular hardware, okay, it's not that powerful. But then the second and the third concern, I think this is much more important. Second concern is a child is playing the toy every day. So all his or her behavior will be captured by the toy because the toy wants to communicate back to the cloud. So if the manufacturer wants to capture your information, it's very easy, just like your app. They say that install your app, do you allow me to use your location information, for example?
So this is data collection. The third point, what makes it dangerous?
The third point is more important is they understand you, that means they can recommend you on something. That means they can change your mindset, the way you think things.
All right, so essentially, actually, what you are describing, that's what actually people want. The idea is that your toy interacts with you. That's what makes it attractive. But that is exactly what makes that toy dangerous because it collects the data of your behavior.
Yeah.
Now, is there, say, I'm a parent, I want my child to have this kind of toy which amuses my child. Is there a toy that I can get and yet have protections in place so it has these attractive features but does not constitute a danger?
I think for the second concern, there has been a lot of effort, both by the government, by the manufacturer also. Okay, but this is evolving. Why it's evolving is because we want more intelligence. I mean, the more you want, I mean, the more things you need to send out. Okay, the last concern, this is for the near future. I mean, it's not that common yet, but I think people need to be more proactive.
Such as?
For example, how will the toy interact with the kid? Is there any recommendation instead of giving you the fact? Okay, for example, you may want it just like people want to push something to you and say that okay, you should like flowers, for example, things like that.
Yeah, you know, I was curious because smart toys are, in a way, not that new, and they have been around for a few years. And as you said, the technology is becoming more complex to keep up with people's needs. But has the security also kept up in that advanced way?
So from the technology viewpoint, from the data preserving viewpoint, I mean, there has been a lot of effort. Even from the laws and regulation, there are. But why I say is evolving is because we want more. Okay, so the smart toy 2 years ago and the smart toy today are very different.
So in other words, okay, we want more. The onus is actually on us not to want more, because if you want more, you get a toy in your home that is then invading your privacy. Now, so I think the follow-up question to that is, who's in charge? So regulators tell us we should not have this, but in fact, it's a market demand. We want this. We create this demand. Therefore, toy makers supply this demand.
Well, I think from the viewpoint of the regulator, they put up the rules and guidelines that should follow, and also they can do the enforcement. Okay, about those rules.
So there isn't, so for example, they go up to a point, so a smartish toy, but not a dangerously smart toy. You don't think this is a realistic option?
I think just like our handphone. Okay, I would say the handphone is the biggest smart toy a kid is having today. Okay, so we encourage the kid to use the handphone, but you need to be careful. You need to watch out.
So at the end of the day, it comes back to us, the onus on the parent, regardless of the regulations in place, regardless of the safeguards.
Now, I think all the people need to work together. Government can help. By giving out guidelines, regulations, and so on. Manufacturers also want to make their reputation. Okay, and of course, the parents should also have the role there.
All right, thanks so much for joining us and explaining this to us. Dr. Chi Hong Chi from NTU. Thanks so much.
Thank you.